Yeah. So, Deborah, welcome to our episode 5 of Her Stories, where we focus on successful women leaders globally.
Well, thank you very much for having me today. Such a pleasure to talk about a topic that I'm passionate about.
Great. So, I'm sure the insights you're going to share with us and your story you're going to share with us is going to be such an inspiration to younger generation of women who are watching us today.
No, thank you.
Great. So we have Shamoil N Vapra here who will be joining to our conversation, and then let's get started. So one of the first questions, you are the marketing director at the Plusoft, right? So what
Yeah.
would be your daily routines at Plusoft?
Well, this is a very good question. We have an intense routine at Plusoft with several meetings per day. My day usually includes making key decisions on product, services, communication, marketing strategy, and also segmentation, and branding. Many days, I also need to focus on internal communication, topics concerning diversity and inclusion, and also partners strategy.
Nice.
We are a software company focused on customer relationship management. And because of that, we really focus on having close relationships with prospects and customers. So I also work very hard to foster closer relationships with my colleagues and the team that I manage, and of course, clients and prospects.
Nice. That sounds like a very good, routine. So, and while growing, for all of us, we always have someone, to get inspired to. Everyone has their inspirations, right? And for you, who would be your inspirations, or what would be your inspirations?
Well, many inspirations. I can say that my first inspiration was my mother. She always worked very hard to achieve her goals. When I started in the corporate world, my inspiration was my first boss. And this is funny because she became a very close friend. And today, she's a mentor for me. It's a very good story. And I think that speaking of public figures, she's a symbol of a strong Black woman. So as First Lady, she elevated topics that were very important to her, to the world, and also to me. So after I read her book, I better understood the route she took and the obstacles she needed to overcome in order to be the woman she is today. I think that Michelle Obama learned her values from her parents and brother. And it's funny because I grew up in a very similar environment, learning from my parents and my brother, which is an inspiration for me as well. As well, of course, he's a man, but also an inspiration. And I think another woman who inspires me a lot is Malala. She taught me how to overcome challenges and to never give up on my dreams, no matter how difficult the challenges are.
Nice.
Wow,
So
wonderful.
it sounds like you had a full perspective while growing up, right? A lot of people to get, aspired to.
Yeah, of course, we have many other women, but I can list them, and they are very powerful.
Yeah, that sounds very nice. Yeah, and since from your stories that you're sharing with us, and then you already got your inspirations, right? So, and from that experience, you must already have felt yourself, like, in some ways with your responsibilities, empowered women, right? And this also raised the questions. So, empowered women also empower other women, right? And how would you empower yourself and the women around you, for example, in your organization?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Well, I believe that women are the best people to empower other women, but unfortunately, that is not always the case. There is still a lot of competition among women, and that's why I personally work on female empowerment in the place that I work with my friends. working on the confidence of other women, strengthening our bonds and helping them to achieve their dreams. So I believe that we as women need to dedicate ourselves much more to prove that we are capable of or we have enough knowledge, you know. So that's why I like to promote the work of other women, like yours, for example. This is also an exercise I do to myself, because from the moment you feel like an empowered woman, you can encourage friends, partners, and family members to feel empowered too. This is why it's very important to raise awareness of more women and men, promoting gender equity in all activities.
Nice.
Very true. I mean, that's beautifully put, Deborah. I mean, especially in times like these, uh, you can broadly categorize as the pre-pandemic era and the post-pandemic era, and that comes to our next, viewpoint that we would love to hear from you. That what, according to you, should be the priorities in the dynamic, changing times that we are currently seeing, especially in the marketing sector. Yeah, we are from that particular industry, and you would agree with me, there has been a big paradigm shift once we've resumed to work post the pandemic. So what is your take on it, and what do you think should be the number one priority right now?
Yeah, this is it's a very interesting question. And I think that pandemic brought so many things to us to think about what comes next. And
Right.
for me, it's very important to think about mental health. It's a fundamental topic to me and my priority right now. And I think that this should be others' priority as well. And I think, of course, to everyone. So, for example, you could work in a successful company, but it has a toxic environment. You work with problematic people and bad leaders and not have collaborative environment. It's not healthy. So, and mental health also includes taking care of physical health as well, exercising, maintaining a health and balanced routine, maybe reading a little bit, and have this balance between professional and personal lives.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Deborah, because again, but this is something similar that we do at hers as well. I'll just take a couple of minutes to talk about what we at hers do. But this is a particular platform that when the founder contemplated of giving it back to the community. I'm talking about Hanan Sheikh here, where he came up with this idea that let's start an all women organization, and let's empower women by giving them an opportunity to succeed and giving them the tools to build on their self-confidence. And that is not only where we look at from the numbers point of view, but even from the hiring point, where we look at the talent pool that haven't had many opportunities that may have come across, or working around the clock, or maybe housewives, anyone that would want to associate themselves and prove to the world that they have some independent identity, or they want one opportunity to go in. That's something that we do out here. And very rightly said, I mean, mental peace is something that is of the number one priority, because what the pandemic has done is it has given us all a reality check, that
Yeah.
you can earn your money, you can be as active as you can, but in the end, it does not matter if you're not associated or not closely knit to your family and close ones. So very well said, Deborah. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's inspiring to me to talk to a company that takes care of this topic. I think that we should have more cases like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you, Shamoil. That was a beautiful point. And then linking to this point to Deborah's previous answer, I really like it when you said how this, empowerment in any kind of a form leads to encouragement to other people around you, right? And then it also leads to a support of other people around you. So the question would be, how can women support each other in various organizations, especially in leadership roles?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, women face an inviewed playing field at work. This bias is so pronounced that simply changing the name on a resume, for example, from a woman's to a man's, increases the candidacy hireability by 61%, according to some studies.
Right.
And because female performance is frequently underestimated, women need to work harder to prove we are just as capable as the others. So women are also likely to miss out key assignments, promotions, and raises. And we even tend to underestimate their own performance and are more likely to attribute their failures to lack of ability, for example. So because the workplace is harder on women and we are harder on ourselves, our confidence often erodes, all the time we think about it. So to support other women, we should create a strong environment, a strong network.
Right.
We should remind ourselves that we can do anything that we want, that we are capable, that we are good on everything, that we want to do. And I think that mentorship and sponsorship are also drives of success. It's good to have a mentor. And last but not least, I think that women also receive less. I think no, it's compromise. It's something that study says all the time, and less helpful feedback. So look for opportunities to give the women you work with input that can help them learn and grow.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, I mean, talking about the, challenges that, women might face or can face in the various organizations. Deborah, you one of the leaders at your organizations. Do you think you have in any way influenced the barriers which is, faced by women, such as, flexible working hours, remote working, maternity leave, maybe, or work-life balance? Do you think you have any influence in reducing those barriers?
Yeah, all the time. The CEO of the company that I work for, he's very compromised on reducing barriers such as flexible working hours and remote work for everyone, and this includes women. And at Plusoft, I help to facilitate and communicate those policies, such as increasing the time women are able to work from home, and a maternity leave and extension. We are discussing this right now to give more time to mothers and to stay with their kids. So I'm very lucky to work at a company that is diverse in practice and encourages professional and personal balance. And I'm very lucky that I'm heard, so I help those policies and to spread those policies.
Right.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Deborah, again, because you would come across numerous organizations and MNCs that swear by the thing that you've just mentioned, that we have these, leverages that the employees can take. We have these policies that will, ease the work at workplace, but seldom do you come across companies that also provide what they talk. So it's very refreshing to hear that at your esteemed organization, you'll have something that works for the favor of the employees as well, and it's a win-win situation. And as long as you do it for the employees, they are happy. That relates their the productivity increases. So yeah, again,
Yeah.
about who your inspiration has been while growing up. Is there anything in hindsight that if we were to ask you right now, after you've achieved so much professionally and personally, do you think anything that you could have done better, any learnings that I'm sure there would be a couple of examples that you could cite that, hey, you know what, I think I could have followed a different approach. So do you have any good thing to talk on those fronts?
Yeah, all the time. We make mistakes all the time, right? So no one is perfect.
Right.
But I think,
Right.
yeah. So I think that one of the mistakes I made in the past was, instead of showing people how to complete a task, for example, I would do it myself. After
Mm,
repeating this mistake several times, I learned the importance of delegation, and also the importance to to give the opportunity to people to make mistakes, and in order of people to grow, they need autonomy, and they need to take risks, and mistakes will happen, and
Sure.
it's necessary to generate a minimal tolerance of
mm.
them. And this is the only way to learn and grow. This is how I grew. So that's why I made this mistake, and now I don't do this anymore.
Right.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, that sounds like very inspirational to me, learning. Of course, all the learning starts from mistakes, right? Which also brings another question. So, what do you think is the biggest challenge is being like a marketing director? I mean, as a being like a leader.
Well, many challenges, but the biggest one, I think I would say, it is supporting and sustaining the company's growth, even in
Mm,
challenging times.
mm,
And it is also necessary to always innovate and generate unforgettable experience for our clients.
mm,
I
Right.
saw a study last week, and that showed that 16% of marketing said that their biggest challenge is increasing competition from other brands,
mhm,
and
Wow.
and that's not shocking at all, because competition, business competition, is a tale as old as time. And
mhm,
even when you feel like you are winning in the market, competitors can come at any time, any moment, ready to outperform you. So you have to innovate, you have to take risks again.
mhm,
And so I think that's the biggest challenge: grow all the time, and align this strategy with the sales team, of course.
mm. Yeah, that sounds like very strategic, right? I mean, this is the one of the biggest challenges I think in the marketing to to come up with the competitors and then compete with them, or like in any way to know their you know the way of dealing with the things, right? And
Yeah.
So
since
then,
yes,
sorry, Arzu.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Arzu. Just to add on to that, Deborah. Uh, I mean, I'm in complete agreement to the challenge that you just quoted. But then, let me take this opportunity and ask you, how do you manage as a leader? Your team coming in and talking about the challenges that they foresee, and it's a very thin line to tell them that, hey, you know what, empathize, and I understand what the situation is, but then also to keep them motivated and to be persistent in what they are trying to do. So how do you manage that little dilemma that you may have?
Well, this is a very interesting question. I think that I always say to them that we should take care of our clients. So it's
Right.
very important to take care of them and give them the best experience ever. So we should look on things with client's eyes. So I think this is the best way of improving
Mhm.
it and giving them the opportunity to do
Right.
different
Wonderful.
things.
Wonderful. Thank you, Deborah. Yes, Arzu, please go ahead.
Yeah, that was wonderful point. So, from this, talking about these challenges, like, and then from your story to, I mean, to the position that you have reached right now, is there anything that you would like to share with women who are, just started paving their way in this tech, in the marketing, or any kind of advice you could give for their growth in business, of course?
Yeah. Well, I would give or tell tech women or marketing women or women in general three important tips. I think that the first one is establish and strengthen your networking.
Mm,
This tool is essential for you to move in the market.
mhm,
Second one, never stop studying or learning. Technology advances quickly, and it is necessary to stay up to date with the full potential of technology and its developments. And third, believe in yourself. As much as imposter syndrome tries to hold you back, sometimes I have that. Believe in yourself and your potential.
Great. I mean, wonderful advices.
Amazing, Deborah. I mean, it's been a pleasure, Deborah, to chat with you. And before we let you go, and before we wrap this up, any one-liners that you live by, or any motto, or any motivational takeaways that you may want to give to the audience that would be taking a look at our podcast?
Well, I think that this is a very good time to improve yourself, to improve others. So, and of course, I think that we need organizations like yours. And so I think that it's an opportunity to meet other women and to stay in touch with technologies and things that are new, things that are coming. So something that we should follow up,
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those motivational words, and whatever time that you've spent with us. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Deborah. It was our pleasure talking to you, and thank you for sharing your insights about women empowerment. And it was, again, like a wonderful speaking to you, and then I hope we'll do this again.
I'm so happy to be here with you, and you can count on me. So see you next time.
Totally,
Thank you.
Deborah.
Yeah, I'll just stop the recording now.